and gentlemen, nuclear terrorism is considered to be one of the greatest threats to the security for last couple of years. If you really look at the issue of nuclear terrorism, the issue is in the forefront of the discussion all over the world because of various factors. After the disintegration of USSR, it was pursued by many people, and actually it happened on the uh, ground. Reality also indicates that. To start again. Again start करो. Well, ladies and gentlemen, nuclear terrorism is considered to be one of the biggest threat to the humanity in present days. This threat could be considered as a threat of a recent origin, even though the nuclear weapons existed for a couple of decades now. Nuclear terrorism is an issue which has come into the forefront of the strategic debate during last few decades, particularly after the disintegration of USSR. It was pursued by many people, and actually on ground also it was observed that there material goes into the wrong hands. There are possibilities that the terrorist organizations or the non-state actors could be able to use that material for various heinous purposes. Having said that, it should be discussed that using nuclear material directly to prepare a bomb is not an easy task. Particularly nuclear technology is an extremely complex technology, and just by getting hand on the nuclear material is unlikely to help the terrorist organizations straightway to prepare a bomb which could be used for the purposes of terrorism. So how one should look at the issues of nuclear terrorism? I think the issue of a nuclear terrorism should be looked at different levels. One is that is there any possibility that the terrorist organization in today's world will be able to really steal a bomb from a state actor and start using it? If you look at it slightly more technically, one understands that there are no ready-made or off-the-shelf bombs which are available. Hence, stealing a nuclear bomb is not going to help because there is nothing of a nuclear bomb which is being available in a ready-made position. Second aspect is that you require delivery mechanisms to deliver the nuclear weapons or the nuclear bombs. These mechanisms involve long-range missiles or aircrafts or submarines. So for a terrorist organization, it's very difficult to get hold on these deliverable mechanisms also. So then what are the options which could be left with the terrorist organization? The other option is to get into the business of a less lethal but an impressive bomb which could be used, which is commonly known as a dirty bomb. Essentially, you require cobalt and other elements which are readily available into various laboratories, particularly the radiological laboratories, which could be converted into a nuclear bomb. But this particular nuclear bomb, which is known as a dirty bomb, would not give much of a dividend to terrorist organizations in terms of the damage to the humanity. But what dividend it could give to the terrorist organization is more about allowing that organization to make an impact and create fear among the masses. Usage of such type of a bomb could allow the terrorist organization maybe to kill not much of a people, but it will have certain amount of impact as far as leakage of radiations are concerned. Other option which could be used by the terrorist organizations to undertake act of a nuclear terrorism could be to create certain amount of a sabotage into the nuclear industry. Particularly if one has to draw parallels, what had happened into a Bhopal gas tragedy, it was not an act of terrorism, but the amount of a damage, sabotage or amount of a damage, an accident into any sort of a chemical laboratory has created, similar type of a damage could be created by creating a sabotage into the nuclear establishments. We have seen what has happened in Fukushima. Of course, creating a sabotage is less easier than said done. But at the same time, countries need to remain prepared, particularly from the perspective of sabotage, because this is one of the most likely routes the terrorist organizations could undertake. Other route which terrorist organizations are expected to undertake are the routes of usage of a dirty material or a dirty bomb. Here again, the governments and other agencies, particularly the radiological laboratories, should guard against any sort of a theft of the nuclear material. From Indian perspective, threat of a nuclear terrorism could be considered as a threat which is of a high consequence, but presently the dangers are not very high. From that point of view, what is important for India is to remain prepared to guard against any such a threat. What is important is not to remain reactive to this issue, but to remain proactive to this issue and take all necessary precautions. Thank you.